So Maharaj will give the talk now, and after the talk at 6 p.m., we'll be having Damodar Ashtakam with offering of ghee lamps. So please everyone take this opportunity to offer ghee lamps. It's a very auspicious month of Kartik. And also we'd like to thank the devotees who sponsored the feast today. So today's feast and Artik is sponsored by Arvind Prabhu, Khushbu Mataji, right there, the family, they are from Winston-Salem. And today is their daughter Arya's 3rd birthday. Haribo! So before prasadam, we'll have a celebration. We have cake, so we'll have cake cutting for Arya. So let's pray for this whole family and let's pray for Arya. Shri Radha Golokananda shower their blessings on this whole family. Let's loudly chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Coming up on the calendar, this Thursday is Diwali and Saturday is Govardhan Puja. And at our temple, next Sunday, we'll have a very special celebration where we'll be celebrating Diwali and Govardhan Puja together. So next Sunday is going to be a huge festival after Janmashtami. It's our second biggest festival. Festivities will start at 4 p.m., go on all the way till 8 p.m. But I'll have more information after the class. Okay, so now we'll have the class. So even devotees can come a little bit more ahead. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you very much, Aditya Narayan Prabhu. And we want to thank everybody for coming here today. And today we are going to talk about demons, but not just demons. We're going to talk about how demons are connected with something called anarthas. But first we'll chant Jai Radha Madhava. So anartha means something you don't want, like your credit card bills, right? Mortgage. What else don't you want? What? Illness. Oh, illness. Old age. So we're not going to talk about how to get rid of those anarthas. Unfortunately, I'd like to figure that out too. But we're going to talk about devotional anarthas, things that impede our spiritual progress. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiya Ujje Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiya Ujje Gopi Janabalabha Yirivarudha Kure Gopi Janabalabha Yirivarudha Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tera Panachare Yamuna Tera Vanachare Jayo Radha Madhava Kunyabika Gute Jayo Radha Madhava Kunyabika Gute Gopi Nana Malava Giri Badadhari Gopi Nana Malava Giri Badadhari Yasodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tera Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhuva Kunya Vihati Jayo Radha Madhuva Kunna Vihati Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parvatikacharya also Tera She Shimad His Divine Grace Abhaya Charananda Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Sayamakunda Radha Kunda, Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavanam Ki Jai, Mathuram Ki Jai, Jagannath Swami Ki Jai, Yamunamai Ki Jai, Shrimati Lalasi Devi Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Gol. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Budale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharni Nivashesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarni. So Om Ganat Timidanda Shah Gananjana Shlakaya Chakshur and Meditam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namaha. So, as we mentioned before, we're going to talk about anarthas. That means unwanted things that impede our spiritual progress. So, what are the different steps in spiritual progress? It's very interesting. This is mentioned by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, specifically by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. There's this very nice verse, Ado Shradadata Saru Sangota Bhajanakriatato Nartanavritishat Tato Nishta Richis Tata Atas Chaktis Tato Bhava Sata Prema Bayunjiti Sadakamayam Premna Prabha Bhave Bhavet Kramaha. Now, for those of you who don't understand Sanskrit, I'm going to translate. So in the beginning, there's some preliminary interest, Ado Shraddha, which is the little faith. Well, maybe these people have something. Sometimes it's called Agyata Sukriti. Sometimes it happens because one's listening to the radio and they play the Hare Krishna mantra. And, oh, what's in it? So there's a little bit of interest, a little bit of faith, a little bit of trust. So when you have this interest or trust or faith, preliminary faith, you want to see what's happening. And so you associate with the people who are doing that, specifically devotional service. Let's say you see the people dancing on the street. Like in the 1960s, we used to have a lot of people dancing in the street. And you think, they look happy. and I am unhappy. So how can I become happy like that? So you go and you chant with them, and then eventually you may visit the temple. And then when you're in the temple, you begin to emulate them. Because whoever you associate with, you actually start doing the same thing. Like if you go into the bar, though you don't know what a bar is, it's not an exam that you take to become a lawyer. A bar is, anyway, I won't explain. So if you go into the bar and you're sitting around, everybody's drinking, you're going to eventually drink. So if you go into the Hare Krishna bar and everybody's chanting, Hare Krishna, just like there's that story of Haridas Thakur and a prostitute. The prostitute approached him for the wrong purposes. She wanted to make him fall down. And she just sat near him, offered obeisances to the Tulsi plant, and after a while, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And after 3 days, she became a pure devotee. I wish it would be so quick for us. Yeah, millennium. It's a millennium, and we're still waiting. So anyway, so she became a pure devotee after 3 days. And that's called bhajana kriya, that one begins to emulate. And when one does bhajana kriya, then gradually, Chaito Darpanam Arjanam Bhava Mahadvakmi Nirvapanam, the dirt in the heart, or the anarthas, become cleansed. That's called anartha nivritti. You start to get rid of specific anarthas like lust, anger, greed, illusion, envy, fear. These are all anarthas because they impede our progress of devotional service. What do I mean? Let's give an example. Let's say Vishwamitra Muni was trying to meditate, and then Menaka came along, and that impeded his meditation for a long time. And then he had to go back for another few million years, a few 100,000 years, and engage in meditation again. So then you get rid of most of these anarthas by using your intelligence. Because even though you may have the proclivity, propensity, inclination to do something, you understand this is counterproductive to my Krishna consciousness. So that's one of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's surrendering principles, to accept everything favorable and reject everything unfavorable, even though you may want to do it, because you know there's going to be some reaction. I was listening to a class today Prabhupada was giving, and he said, the reason, okay, this doesn't apply to everybody, but the reason a person doesn't steal is because they know they'll have to go to jail. Right. Let's give a practical example of my own life. I don't have an inclination to steal, but I have an inclination to speed in a car. And the reason I don't do it, because I got caught once, but anyway, the reason I don't do it is because I don't want to have to pay a fine. I don't want to get caught. So even though the inclination is there, this would be so much fun. So, and it was. So even though the inclination is there, I don't do it. Intelligence platforms. I got rid of that anartha, the speeding anartha. So anyway, that's called anartha nivritti. You get rid of that. And then when you get rid of that, or at least have it under control, then you become nishta. Nishta means what? Steady. And in Krishna consciousness, this means nishta in sadhana and nishta throughout the rest of the day. I'll give you an example of that. Nishta in sadhana means I get my 16 rounds done every day. And also you do a certain amount of, offer your food to Krishna and everything like that. And then nishta outside of sadhana means you avoid things that are counterproductive to Krishna consciousness outside of your sadhana practices. So there's two aspects to nishta. So anyway, so then one nishta, then after nishta, you become, or you get a taste, a real ecstatic taste. Goranga balite habi pulaka shavir. That every time you hear Goranga, you just, the hairs of your body stand on end. And, I mean, I'm not going to demonstrate it for you right now, but anyway, you feel ecstatic. You may hold it back so others can't see it, but you feel ecstatic. You're attracted. You're naturally attracted. You have a taste. And also, you don't have a taste for things that are not related to Krishna. And then you become a Shakti. Then you become more and more attached. There's a loud whumpers. I have to put my earplugs in. So then you become extremely attached. Shakti, Shakti, very, very attached to Krishna. And then you develop bhavas, or really extreme emotions, that every time you see a peacock feather, even if it's not on Krishna, even if it's just on a peacock, you feel an ecstasy. Just like there was a devotee, Mukunda, and he was advising, and they were fanning the Muslim king with a peacock fan. And just by seeing the fan, he fell down from a high dais, fell down to the ground, and of course he told the Muslim king he had epilepsy, which wasn't true. So, and then, after these bhavas, we're not going to, actually the bhavas are elaborately described by Srila Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Devotion. There's Anubhava, Sattvika Bhava, Vyapachari Bhava, there is Sthai Bhava. Anyway, if you're interested, read about them in Prabhupada's book, Nectar of Devotion, which we have for sale. And then you get prema, that it's pure love of God. And these things happen one after the other. But the essential point is to get rid of the anarthas. And so, to get rid of the anarthas, we have to figure out, too, where they're coming from. And they're, according to this great Acharya, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, they come from 4 different, let's say, mentalities, activities, not exactly geographical locations, but locations, let's just say, use the word location, or places. So the first place they come from is from your previous sins. That means what you've done before you took up the chanting of Krishna consciousness. Of course, when one takes up the chanting of Krishna consciousness, you will wipe out karma. But as Prabhupada explained very nicely, even though there's no more karma, it's like unplugging a fan, a circular fan, not one of these modern fans. But in these circular fans, you unplug it, it has some momentum. It's like Srila Prabhupada one time wanted to teach his son not to put his fingers in the fan. It was a big, big fan, and he cut off your finger. So he unplugged the fan. He said, now you can touch the blades. And the blade hit the kid's finger. Bing! He said, oh, okay. Now I understand. So there's this slowing down of your reactions when you first take to Krishna consciousness, but there'll be some token reactions. And these are directly administered by Krishna to teach you, to keep you humble. So these anarthas may come from that source. So you should identify them. This is my previous conditioning, things that I have. And use your intelligence. The intelligence is higher than the mind. The intelligence is the form, direction of the supersoul, Srila Prabhupada said. We are doing something called Buddhi Yoga, which means the yoga of the intelligence. Intelligence means to know what to do. The mind is accepting and rejecting things based on impulses. Like I gave my speeding example. That's an impulse. And intelligence knows no. So another place that artists come from is previous pious activities. Because even activities in the mode of goodness can entangle one and, let us say, foment attraction for things in this world. Like we may be attracted to a beautiful sunset, forgetting the sunset is actually Krishna's energy. Or the sun is Krishna's energy, and the sunset too is Krishna's energy. Not connecting with Krishna. We become enamored, just like I was walking here and I was looking at all the beautiful leaves that are changing color. People used to go to the mountains in North Carolina before the hurricane to check out the leaves. Can you imagine driving all the way there just to look at leaves? You know, dead parts of trees? Wow. Anyway, no brains. So anyways, so that's mode of goodness, pious activities. And there's an interesting thing that an artist can also come when you're performing bhakti, just because you may become proud. Let's say you feel some ecstasy, and you just want to tell everybody, hey, I just felt this ecstatic symptom. You're proud. Pride is an anartha. Or you may have some position because you're chanting for so many years. You may become a guru or a sannyasi or something like that. And then you become proud. For example, you become a guru, and then people write a book about you every year. And you have a big birthday party. It's like a fancy version of what you used to have when you were a 5-year-old. You invite all your friends over, right? And then you think, it's me. It's really me. They're talking about me. Wow. So one has to think, okay, Krishna's giving me this service, and somehow or other, Krishna's allowing these people to be appreciative of how Krishna is